Hello everyone, this is your Comic Maven Nicole D'Andria with my first ever video, Comic Characters You've Never Heard of #1. The first part in a new ongoing series, this video showcases several comic book characters that newcomers to comics, casual comic book fans, and hardcore veterans may not have heard about before. Be wary of spoilers. It's also important to be aware that there are sometimes multiple versions of characters in comic books. To save time, I will be focusing more on one particular version of each character. Now, I'm not perfect. I have not read every issue that the following characters have appeared in, and they may appear in comics in the future, which could affect the information in this video. If you notice any incorrect info, please let me know and I will be happy to update it. Enjoy! Up first is a woman whose patriotism may rival that of even Captain America. This is Shannon Carter, better known as American Dream. She was created by Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz in A-Next #1, which came out in 1998. Shannon is a resident of Earth 982. She shares the same Earth as several of DeFalco's other creations, including Mayday Parker, aka Spider-Girl. When she was a teenager, Shannon Carter was involved in a car accident that killed both of her parents. She was also paralyzed from the waist down. She's taken in by a relative, Peggy Carter, who you may recognize as a character from the Captain America movies and the star of her own television miniseries, Agent Carter. When Shannon loses hope that she will ever be able to walk again, Peggy gives her the journals of her sister, Sharon Carter, who was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that fought alongside Captain America. Shannon was inspired by both Captain America and her cousin Sharon so much that she not only learned to walk again, but trained herself to Olympic-level strength. At this point, the Avengers of Earth 982 had disbanded, and the Avengers Mansion was being used as a museum. Thanks to Peggy's former ties with the Avengers, she was able to get Shannon a job in the mansion as a tour guide. While Shannon was working in the mansion, the Avengers became active once again. The team had so few members that they held tryouts. Shannon took this chance to join the team and brought along a few friends as well, whom she dubbed the Dream Team. Shannon used her acrobatic and fighting skills, as well as mini-discs that she fired from her wrists, to prove herself as a worthy candidate. The entire Dream Team was then accepted into the Avengers, now referred to as A-Next, and Shannon took on the identity of American Dream. After proving herself in numerous battles, American Dream and her teammates went to an alternate reality to help save an alternate version of the Avengers. While there, American Dream proves her courageousness in battle. She is given by the Captain America of that dimension his impenetrable shield. But that's not the only development from this battle. The leader of A-Next, Thunderstrike, decided to stay behind in the alternate dimension, and American Dream was declared the new leader of A-Next. American Dream appeared in the MMORPG Marvel Superhero Squad Online that came out in 2011 for PC and Mac. She is a playable character and is voiced by Tara Strong, a voice actress made famous by her numerous iconic roles, which include Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls and Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. Shannon is often overlooked because of her two more well-known relatives, Peggy and Sharon Carter. But Shannon has more than earned her right as a tough-as-nails woman who believes in truth, justice, and the American way. Next up is a character whose life is one tragedy after another. This is Maggie Kyle. She first appeared in a Catwoman miniseries created by Mindy Newell and Joe Brzezowski in 1989. Maggie is Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman's younger sister. The two did not grow up very close to each other. She was previously a nun, but she then went on to meet her future husband, Simon Burton, when she moved to the West Coast. Simon's work transferred him to Gotham with Maggie in tow. The two were then kidnapped by Black Mask, who was trying to get back at Catwoman for interfering with his drug trafficking ring. Black Mask tortured and killed Maggie's husband right in front of her with power tools. He then fed her parts of her husband's corpse, including his eyes. After she is rescued by Catwoman, Maggie goes into a psych ward. Catwoman took her revenge on Black Mask by shooting him in the head, killing him. Maggie is not seen again until Blackest Night, a DC Comics event that brought every previously dead character in the DC universe back to life. This included Black Mask. He went to the psych ward Maggie was being kept at and recreated the torture he put her through. This triggered a psychotic break in Maggie and led to her blaming and hating her sister Selena for all of her problems. Maggie returns in the series Gotham City Sirens, a comic book starring the three deadly villainesses of Gotham City, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman. Maggie returns believing that her sister was possessed by a demon because the sign for the demon in question was a cat. She went to a nun and renowned exorcist, Sister Agatha, to seek help in saving her sister. However, while in Sister Agatha's home, Maggie reacts violently when she sees Agatha's cat. She kills both the cat and Sister Agatha. With Sister Agatha dead, Maggie was left to her own devices in an exorcist's home. This turned out to be a match made in hell as Maggie breaks a mysterious vial and releases a demonic spirit. However, the demon pretends to be an angel. This angel gives Maggie supernatural strength, speed, stamina, and agility, while also further manipulating her mind. He tells Maggie he will help save her sister's soul, so the two track Catwoman down and attempt to save her via homicide. Maggie goes after her sister and Harley Quinn, showing just how powerful the angel is by proving to be more than a match for the two of them. The angel is able to take control of Harley's mind as well after Harley gives Maggie her moniker, Sister Zero. However, Maggie's plans are thwarted, but she continues to plot to save her sister's soul. Later on in the series, Maggie tries to join Azrael, a vigilante trying to help clean up the streets of Gotham City. This leads to Maggie believing she is the final test Selena must face in order to rid herself of the cat demon. She tells Selena to kill her, but she refuses. Despite everything that happened between them, Maggie and Selena both love each other. Maggie is quite a tragic figure, though killing a cat and a nun still isn't justified, even after being forced to eat your husband's eyes. Maggie hasn't been seen since the New 52, and I hope she returns to cause more emotional turmoil for her sister. Oh, and to find redemption, of course. Our next heroine has a lot to offer, in both character and body mass. This is Ashley Crawford, aka Big Bertha. She first appeared in West Coast Avengers, Volume 2, number 46 in 1989. Bertha was created by John Byrne. She is Wisconsin's most famous supermodel. Yes, that's right, Big Bertha is a model, or rather, her civilian identity, Ashley Crawford, is. Ashley has the ability to go from a size 0 model to a 20-ton titan thanks to her mutant power of regurgitation, which means she can shape the fat on her body. As Ashley Crawford, she's a well-trained athlete and retains her athletic traits when she turns into Big Bertha. In her bigger form, Bertha's strength and resistance to pain is increased. Unfortunately, as Big Bertha, her stamina is not increased, so even with her heightened abilities, she can tire easily. Even more unfortunate is the one huge aspect of Ashley's character that can't be overlooked. In order to lose the huge amount of weight she gains when becoming Big Bertha, she has to throw up. So, the only bulimic superhero? Not much is known about Ashley prior to her responding to an ad placed by Mr. Immortal to become a member of the Great Lakes Avengers. However, the GLA miniseries revealed Ashley as a mutant. Her team often had legal problems. Because Crawford's group faced a cease and desist order from the Avengers to stop infringing on their franchise, the Great Lakes Avengers have changed their names a couple of times. First, after the team noticed every member of theirs was a mutant, they decided to call themselves Great Lakes X-Men. Then, after winning a poker game, they took on their current name, Great Lakes Champions. It was Ashley's modeling career that funded the team. Ashley has had a very rocky relationship with the fan-favorite character Deadpool. He previously attacked the Great Lakes Avengers during the Superhero Registration Act to force them into registering. At one point, she went on a date with Deadpool in the form of Big Bertha. The date went about as well as expected. When Bertha met Deadpool in her civilian identity, Ashley Crawford, Deadpool was not attracted to her. Later, when Deadpool shows Bertha his face, she responds by throwing up. Later, to get revenge on Deadpool for being a crummy friend, Bertha teamed up with some of Deadpool's friends. Major air quotes there. Of course, the group failed to kill the merc with the mouth. Bertha is a rare example of a superwoman who is overweight. Usually women in comics are always skinny, and the rare exceptions are often villains. However, Big Bertha is a rather heroic character. When she isn't dealing with Deadpool, that is. She also genuinely cares about her team and has turned down offers to model outside of Milwaukee so she can stay with them. However, this bulimic superhero needs help. or at least a speck of dialogue that mentions the negative consequences of her powers, and a compliment to her plus-sized form that isn't from a psychotic merc with a mouth. The next character is a real wild man. This is Mike Maxwell, also known as Buonabeast. He was created back in 1967 by Bob Haney and Mike Sikowski. Buonabeast first appeared in Showcase number 66. Mike Maxwell graduated with honors from college and turned down his millionaire father's offer to join the family business. Instead, Maxwell decided to head to Africa with his friend Rupert Camboya to become a game warden and the head of the Zimbazi nation's new animal preserves. However, as the two were flying to Africa, their plane was downed by a bolt of lightning. They crashed into Mount Kilimanjaro and were forced to take shelter in a cave. Within the cave, they discovered a mutated red ape who helped them. Maxwell drank a special elixir, and, as a result, he grew larger, stronger, faster, and as ferocious as the strongest animals in Africa. He attacked and defeated the red ape. Out of respect for the victor, the red ape named Maxwell his master and gave him an ancient helmet. The ancient helmet imbued Maxwell with numerous abilities as long as he wore it. When he first wore the helmet, he discovered he could read the ape's mind. His name was revealed to him as Juba. The helmet also allowed him to control the actions of any animal and granted Maxwell the power to fuse up to 4 animals or humans together into a chimera that utilized the strength of all the fused animals. This fusion was temporary, and when it wore off, those fused would return to normal unharmed. With his new powers, Maxwell decided to become Africa's defender. He called himself Buonabeast. The word Bwana is Swahili. It is a form of respectful address in parts of Africa. So Buonabeast basically means Sir Beast. He fights injustices in Africa with the help of Juba. During Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man, Buonabeast found himself in Animal Man's home turf. Juba was kidnapped and taken to Star Labs. The scientists gave Juba an experimental form of anthrax. Not only failing to save Juba, Buonabeast is also infected with the disease. After struggling with his powers and fighting the more well-known superhero Animal Man, Buonabeast became friends with him. Animal Man was even able to cure him. At one point, Maxwell tried to give up his powers and named Dominic Mindau the new Buonabeast. Dominic changed the name to Freedom Beast. Unfortunately, Maxwell's retirement was not a peaceful one. He became possessed by an evil entity known as Antagon and became the villain known as Shining Man. As Shining Man, Maxwell fought against Animal Man, and the results were tragic. However, thanks to the new DC Universe in the New 52, Buonabeast is alive and well. He has one very brief appearance in which he is considered as a possible member of Justice League International, but he is not accepted onto the team. Buonabeast also makes several appearances on television shows, including Batman the Brave and the Bold, Teen Titans Go, and Justice League Unlimited. Buonabeast is a rather problematic character when you think about it. He is a white character protecting Africa, a possibly well-meaning but racially charged creation. This questionable concept is actually brought up by some characters. In his run on Animal Man, Grant Morrison almost seems to attempt to make this politically correct by having Maxwell pass on the mantle to a man from South Africa. Only time will tell if Mike Maxwell will appear once again under the helm of Buonabeast. If you know about a comic character that when mentioned causes most people to look at you funny, let me know in the comments below. I may include them in the future comic characters you've never heard of videos. Also, feel free to suggest themes for these videos. For example, I am planning on creating a Batman-related list of comic characters you've never heard of in the future. Having written about comic books for a number of years, I have several written articles related to this material. If you have any interest, links to those related articles are in the description, or you can check out my website, comicmaven.com. Also check out the 2 websites I write for, Entertainment Views and Comic Frontline. Both sites feature articles written by a slew of talented writers. Comic Frontline also has a great YouTube channel, which you should definitely check out. This is your Comic Maven, signing off.